The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and the Tech Insider, David White.
And it is a beautiful Thursday, September 13th, at the headquarters of Technical Trading and Investing, TFNN.com. It is International Chocolate Day, and at the National Confectionery Association, they are celebrating the mysteries and joys of chocolate today, International Chocolate Day. Always good, makes you feel good. I hear there's all kinds of wonderful drugs in it that actually make you fire off endorphins. But it's not a bad day to actually have some chocolate. We have a lot of stuff going on here, so we're going to get to it fairly quickly. Helicopter Ben Bernanke has come out, and it is all about how much money he can throw. It's going to be $40 billion a month buying mortgage-backed securities. A little of the hair of the dog that bit you, apparently, and it's kind of interesting. Basically, I would say his chance of being the next Fed president is exceedingly small if we don't have Barack Obama reelected. In fact, I would say it's nil as of today. It is an unwritten rule that you will not, unless cases of extreme crisis, intervene during the election cycle, and he has. So although he's diminished it somewhat in the way that he's decided to act, it is acting nonetheless, and he'll probably will know his fate on November 6th. If he is, I think he's got one more year. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up even leaving early if Barack does not win a second term. As we look at the market and the volume, 2.6 billion shares, still fairly good for 2 o'clock. Especially when we looked at earlier volumes in the day, it was extremely quiet. We're going to go start looking at some of these larger stocks and see what they are saying for us today. Microsoft was hanging out fairly decently. Right now, not a whole big move in it. Intel also, INTC, was having issues. It's back kind of in the trading range, but not real exciting for technology. Apple, we'll take a quick look at also. It's back up toward the highs. Volume is not all that extensively exciting so far. Maybe we'll see something before the end of the day. 684. They started pushing it. Apple kind of acting exactly like the market did today, and that is that after the news, no one was willing to actually bite, and it looked like some big wheels came in and started shoving the market up higher. Looks like there's a significant bit of what we would call a squeeze, I would assume. Apple up $13 and 2%, not all that big a deal, especially with the market moving and them releasing a new product. Actually fairly mild, but I don't know. It didn't look like it was doing that much. I'm going to look and see if some of the other big stocks out there actually doing much. MCP, kind of interesting. Looks like it may be breaking out on that. It's got fairly decent resistance, just slightly higher, starting at about 1325, and got to 1292. Let me see if we have anything else in here. Yeah, 1285. So it's got a little bit of movement, but not a bad trade off the bottom. Hit a low of $9.49 not too many trading days ago, August 27th. We're going to look at some other ones that I had on my radar and see whether or not we're going to be breaking out with volume. We have. I was watching MasterCard and thinking about how it was going to be doing today. You've got some significant highs out there. I don't know if the volume is quite correct. Let me check here and try again. It's showing the same thing. Maybe I need to check on those volumes just to make sure MA is correct. But that would be very light volume. Well, it's still showing 328,000 shares on MasterCard. Might be a little bit more than that now, but still extremely weak when we look at the previous highs. $448 in July 16th. Had 1.7 million shares. You had a million shares, even a slightly lower high on July 30th that we're getting up here on very light volume. Looks like fairly rare error. It could be thinking about testing the previous high now at May 1st, which is 466.30, 466.98. And we'll have to watch that. But right now it looks like it's trying to break out of the consolidation range. Had a little volume down at the bottom, but nothing exceedingly strong as we get out of this movement. So it is out there, and it is a little higher. We'll have to see whether this whole move today is euphoria, whether we can hang out at these highs, or whether we sell off into the close. 1448 was pretty much a significant mark to go over, and would suggest that the next stop, if this thing does not peter out quickly, is going to be somewhere around 1510 to 1520 on the S&P cash. That would be, I don't know if inflation really kicks up, and you're looking at it in gold and some of the other stocks today, would be rather interesting. See if we see any others out here that really make me want to scratch my head. Trying to think of anything else. We have MasterCard. What else do we have here that would be very interesting? I wanted to see how also the real estate stocks are doing. We've got not a whole lot of volume in it either. I have to check and see if that's also correct. These volumes look very light. I'm wondering, always suspecting, yeah, that's wrong. It's about 5 million shares. Let me see. Program options. See if I can draw that right. Yeah, it's still a little light, but for some reason some of these volumes may not be keeping up. There's about 5 million shares so far. The IYR, which is the Dow Jones U.S. Real Estate Index Fund, has been tapping at these highs. $66.21, July 17th, 7.5 million shares. So you have a chance to get into that with 2 hours left and see if that volume comes in. But a little less than 5 million shares right now would confirm that it is getting close to a breakout. I would have suspected it pulled back to the 63 level where the last big major gap was before it would go much higher. But nothing like Helicopter Ben throwing money at the market once again. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the wonderful little video of the bank robbers that were in the high-speed chase in Los Angeles throwing money out the window. I think that's the new meme for Ben Bernanke today. But we'll continue to watch it. I wanted to see a couple other stocks out here that were close. Amazon was one that was tapping these highs. AMZN. And see whether or not it has broken out. Maybe it's even lower. Yeah. Had our little gap. The question of whether or not it was going to be able to hold any kind of volume. So far also fairly, let's see if I can find that. I'm just worried now that the market may be lagging on some of these quotes, so we'll be checking them very closely. 2.2 million shares, so that should be fairly light. I'm showing, yeah, it's maybe 100,000 shares it's lagging, or 200,000, so not all that much. You came up on real strong volume on the 6th and 7th of this month with a high of 5 million shares. Been going sideways on about half that volume. Looks like we're probably going to get into it with about 3 million shares today on Amazon. Let's see if we have any others that are on my list here that I wanted to check out real quickly. ARMS Holdings, we want to see how it's doing after both Ben and the Apple rollout. AMH. And see whether we have any. This came down on heavy volume as analysts kind of poo-pooed it, mostly because they wouldn't be able to make the chips that they thought were going to be necessary and fast enough in the future. Apple is using their A6. It pretty much made that low. It's come back and filled the gap. I would say with any kind of significant volume. ARMS Holdings are, ARMH. As we look at that gap down, it came on about almost 5.6 million shares. Pretty much been about a fourth of that all the way up, about 1.5 million shares so far today. So we'll look at that. It has the last major high at August 27th at $27.90. We're a little ways away from that, so we'll keep an eye on it. There's a lot of stocks out here we'll have to keep an eye on. Wanted to see some of the other ones that had broken out lately, and that is the Gap. No real movement on that one yet today. We had Intel. We'll see some of the other ones out here that are really moving in the market. We looked at IYS, or IYR, Q and V. There's another REIT index, VNQ, and see how that's doing. This is their Vanguard REIT ETF, and seeing if we have a similar pattern to that. Volume's still kind of weak on it also. Symbol is VNQ. I'm thinking that these ETFs may be giving us a little better signal than some of the others because not as many people going short these real estate ETFs, so the bounce on those may be a good comparison to see if it's just short covering in the broader markets or if there's a wide caused buying in the marketplace. We looked at Microsoft, Oracle, ORCL. Look at all the big names as quick as they can. I knew this one was coming back up to a heavy gap down that it had, what was that, about November 8th and 9th of last year. It's back up to the December 5th high of 2011, which is $32.24, 22 million shares. Pretty much the exact same volume up here, 22 million shares. Been going sideways. Doesn't look like it's headed any higher out here today. Let's see if we have another one here real quick. One that I was watching also, Meredith Corporation, MDP. Looks like it's trying to break out. We'll look at the volumes here. See if I can get just a little higher here and pick up a previous high. Now, we'll look at this when we come back. Meredith Corporation, MDP. Looks like that gap's set up right into it from the, looks like March, or no, it's going to be April the 25th of 2011, and we're finally back into it. Volume not too bad. We shall be back in just a minute.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on Tiger TV with her small cap roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Carol Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Masters Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we come back, someone pointed out that we were getting back to at least a resistance level in the Brazilian index fund. When we look at it at a little broader scale, it is up against what should be fairly hard resistance. It gapped down on the 11th of 2011, was that May 11th, on about 16 million shares, and that set up a gap. The last major high on June 20th was 35 million shares. That was $54.84. Went above it briefly on 14 million shares on August 21st. We're back into that level. A little stronger volume. A lot of times you have to make repeated hits on this, but it looks like it's going to get awful close to filling that gap from early May back there. And a commodity rally may ensue. They always say the hilarity ensues on really bad, extremely bad, actually, sitcoms. Anyway, some of the other stocks, very surprising that aren't moving much at all. I looked at LinkedIn for a lot of these stocks that are hanging up in these highs. Open Table is another one I've been watching for today to see whether it could break out. It's going up against a previous high, the June 11th high, $45.85, 1.4 million shares. Had a higher high yesterday, even lighter volume out here today. So I'm going to continue watching some of these stocks, and the volume comes in. Certainly looks like a lot of people were potentially short, and we're getting that short squeeze today with the S&P up at 1463. And I would imagine that most of the best known stocks are probably doing well, but I keep on in fact, let's look at some of the Dow stocks real quick while we're seeing how this news is being reacted to. We've got Alcoa, symbol is AA, up 3.4%. We've got American Express up 3.4%. Boeing BA up 1.1%. Bank of America, another huge move up here, at least for Bank of America. $9.46, up 5.5%. Caterpillar up 2%. Cisco up 2%. We've got Chevron Corporation up 2%. DuPont up 1.6%. Walt Disney 1.5%. General Electric 1.5%. Home Depot 2 and change percent higher. Hewlett Packard even up 1.5%. International Business Machines 1 3/8. And what else do we have? J.P. Morgan, just a hair under 4% higher, $41.43 on the last quote. McDonald's even up 1%, although they've been beat up fairly hard. 3M Corporation up 1.7%. We've got Merck up 1.3%. And what do we have out here? AT&T up 1.3%. Travelers Company up 1.5%. United Technologies 2.55%. Verizon up 1.3%. Walmart up 1.4%. ExxonMobil 2%. Dow Industrial Average up 1.75%. So a nice move out here for the day. We are having it with volume, so it is so far going to be fairly good. 2.7 billion shares today. You'd really like this to come in at about 4 billion shares or higher to confirm a long-term upward bull market and not just a short-term squeeze out here, as we're almost up 1.86% on the S&P cash. We've got just a couple more minutes to go, but it does look, we've got Ben Bernanke. He's either starting to speak or already is speaking right here during the show, so I wanted to catch some of these stocks before we started seeing what he was going to say and see if that takes a little shine off the rose before we go to break. But it's going to be a big day out here. Even stocks that have been beat up going to be dragged up a little bit. Nice day for MCP, up 7%. We've got some of these others seem a little less than that, but even Nokia, nice little move for the almost not quite dead cell phone company, up 7%. Let's see if anything else. Adobe up almost 2%. They hadn't been doing well either. So we're going to look at that and some other ones when I get a chance during the break to go through some of these stocks. AMD, not a whole lot of love there, up 0.75%. But we're seeing some of these tech stocks still drawing behind fairly significantly. Not a lot of move when we looked at those like LinkedIn and Open Table and some of those others. So it looks like more of an industrial and commodity move. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've seen him on Tiger TV, as well as being featured as a regular CNBC guest and contributor, and now you can have access to his expert trading advice each morning through his daily trading newsletter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading stocks, options, and indices every market day. Market Insights comes out each market day before 9:30 a.m. and provides traders with Tom's daily commentary, opinion, and specific trade recommendations on the markets. Using advanced Fibonacci methods, volume indicators, Gartley patterns, candlestick charting, gaps, and market timing, Market Insights will give you specific trade recommendations including entry, stop, and exit prices. The summer is over and traders are back. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're going to go through the Dow stocks. Hopefully we can get them all in before the end of the show and see how the reaction to Helicopter Ben and his money floating on the ether is working out for us today. First one I want to look at is Alcoa. It's up fairly significantly, $9.65 on my last quote here. It had pretty much done a huge move from, at least for it, from $10.92 back in February 8th down to $7.97 on July 25th. It had pretty much done a little more than 50% retrace, 569 retrace so far. So as we look at that, does it do, be about 15, 20 more cents? It would be a 618 retracement. This one has had some decent, at least, energy, but nothing really to speak of so far on this move up. And looks like it would probably, not a bad move out there today, but Not a lot of energy so far. We'll have to see how the end of the day comes in on it, but close to a 50% retracement on it. What else do we have? American Express, this is certainly looking like it's trying to do a asymmetrical triangle. Big move today, not a lot of volume in this one either. AXP is the symbol. If you put a big greater than symbol, it's starting to try to break out to the upside from an asymmetrical triangle and consolidation. If it had volume in there, then I'd say we were probably good. Looks like it's going to try to go to the July 5th high, would be $59.73 on it. Bank of America, or excuse me, Boeing, and almost nothing on it. Another one that's that same kind of pattern where you can see that it's in a trading range. Not a whole lot of signals on it today. Then we have Bank of America. This is the one that interested me. You actually have some decent volume. Of course, it's going to need a huge amount to get up and break the last major high, which was the March 19th high, $10.10. What do we have up here for BAC? High, 948. So we're about 50 cents away from the major high on it. You need a ton of volume in there. It doesn't look like we're coming anywhere close to that, but may not matter if the money is just falling out of the air. Caterpillar, we'll look at this one here, maybe just a little closer. And it's kind of trying to get back to high. It did a little bit of a retrace, probably looks like just a little bit more than a 50% retrace. But it's now headed for its August 21st high, $92.08 for Caterpillar. Any kind of volume, and nothing the last few days, and even today also looks fairly weak. Cisco, for all the yelling and screaming in the world, nothing in it today. CVX, Chevron Corporation. Wow, now this one, let's go back just a little longer and see if we have anything moving in it. Well, I think you can probably say this thing has moved out, but hasn't got the kind of volume that you would like to see. Need about 8 million shares in any of the last few days. 5 million shares, 5 million shares, 4,700,000, 440,000 shares. Probably going to do about 6 million shares on that. When you've looked at some of the previous highs, 14 million, 8.3 million, 8.3 million, and April 8th, 2011, 8.4 million. So you had a fairly decent move out there. You normally want to see within a breakout of 3 days some kind of decent volume coming out, and I would say that that would be, on the conservative side, 8 million shares and maybe more that you would be looking for. But not a lot of juice in that so far today. We're going to look at DuPont. Let's see if there's anything in that. Nothing to look at. Disney. Let's see. In 2 years, boy, this thing has gone straight up since its last major low, November 25th. Still is not under that any kind of 3x3 or parabolic SAR or any other signal that would say that it's done. So, unfortunately, the movie business is poor, but looks like the rest of their business is great. General Electric, this one should be the one we are looking at today. Last major high in this area was the February 14th high, $21.65, 43 million shares. And we are getting into it. Probably going to get close. 31 million shares so far. So we've got, an hour and a half to go here with the market. We'll be watching that through the end of the day. Now, let's see what else do we have. But that is interesting. We'll check that one back on that one before the end of the day, because that's going to be a big one. Home Depot out here also having a light day, going back up, but closing at its high, but no volume. Hewlett Packard, see if there's anything we can say good about this stock. And back into the huge gap down day on earnings. Up on lighter volume. Looks like it's going to have to consolidate. Even if you were bullish, it's going to take a while to get that out. IBM Business Machine looks like it's going to try to go back, hit its high of $210 on April 3rd. It had 4 million shares up there. We're going to have 3 2 million shares today, 3 million shares, something like that. So we're going to continue to watch that, but it looks like it's probably close enough that it will want to go back and ring the bell at that 210 level over the next couple of days. Intel's been kind of winded. There's not much of it as it pops back up a little bit. I still think that this thing was trying to go back and test the $22.51 low. It had not gotten there. That was 52 million shares. Certainly got into it with lighter volume today, but it's probably going to be too much. I suspect that we're going to see Intel still move back to that $22.51 level. J&J, another one up here banging around the highs. And as we look at it, let me go to a 6-month chart here. Not a whole lot of volume up here so far today. It looks like it's going to try to make up to the $69.70 high we saw on June 19th or the August 1st one. Both of them, even on the conservative level, you need something like 14 million to 24 million shares, depending on how loose you want to play it. We've got 10 million shares or less today. Looks like J&J is weak. JP Morgan finally finishing the gap down that started with all the mess that they had this year. It has come back and pretty much filled all that bad news with the losing of about $5 billion on the whale trade. This thing has, it's finished covering that gap in the bad news down. Not a lot of volume, but I guess maybe it doesn't matter when they're going to always continue buying bonds. Kraft Foods, this one had been a disappointment. It had come back to try to fill a gap and actually hit it with a higher volume. A little bounce out of Kraft Foods, but not going to do us a whole lot. Coca-Cola Company, kind of a nice little move here. You'd like to see this thing come into 19 million shares today, see if it couldn't continue moving up higher. But I don't know, 39.50 looks like the next mark on it. McDonald's, high beef prices are going to be coming. Everybody knows it. It's had a nice little move back up here and retrace. See if we can get what we see in retracements. And that one looks like it is probably in some fairly sufficient retrace if you're looking at your confluence levels. Maybe back up to 93 at the previous high, $93.32 on July 19th, which it looks like it's headed to that high for one more test. We'll go into Merck. Here, Merck is retesting, or looks like it'll retest here in the next day. Its previous high of July 27th, that was $45.17. When we look at that, volume is extremely light on Merck, MRK, and we'll be watching that one. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. That's 877-927-6648. And you can always give me a call. We've got 6 minutes in this segment, another 5 in the rest. We looked at Microsoft. We're just going to do another check. This thing's still hanging in its trading range, kind of looking that Intel had a light day. Microsoft is not getting the bulk of the love that maybe it would if this market was all moving as one. Pfizer, not a lot to look at that. Procter & Gamble, let's look a little longer chart on it. Well, it's also up above previous moves. The last major high, the March 14th high, $67.97. It is going through higher, lighter volume so far, 6.5 million shares today against that 14 million share high. So I'm trying to have to look and see where all this volume is actually coming from. I suspect it's all in the ETFs with very little movement in the underlying stocks, it looks like. AT&T, another one, looks like it's getting ready to test its previous high. A little lighter volume so far today. Again, we've got a good, an hour and 15 minutes left. Depending on what kind of squeeze we get here for the end of the day, it'll say a lot. Just checking on the S&P here real quick as we look. Let me see if I can get back to that real quick. let's see what we have, 1,460. So it will be something we'll be watching here. A little off the highs of 1463 on the S&P cash. 3.1 billion shares so far. Looks like it's going to be light. AT&T is it's probably going to be about 5 million, 6 million shares light if it continues on this trajectory for the end of the day. Travelers Company, we looked at that. Let's see a longer chart on it. And it too could be making a breakout here. Not significantly higher volume. We needed about 3 million shares on the May 6th high of 2011 at $64.17. As we get into that, looks like we certainly had 6.5 a couple days ago, or excuse me, 3.5 a few days ago, 3.1 yesterday, and I'm not exactly sure if these volumes are actually right today or if we're having problems with my quote feed. So I'll continue to monitor these, and you should certainly check them by the end of the day. United Technologies, the big multinational defense contractor, helicopter builder, always used to race next to their plant down in Moroso in Palm Beach. They used to fly those helicopters over there. Pretty cool. Anyway, this one's coming up there. Again, looks like it's going to be light on volume. August 20th, 6.1 million shares. Looks like it's going to be shy of getting up there today, but certainly lighter volume out there. Verizon Communications, no signal here today. Certainly no volume, but looks like it's going to try to take a run at $46.41 of the August 1st high. Walmart. This one, I've been watching Walmart and Target to see what these things are saying here today. Walmart looks like it's getting awful close to testing its high. Let me see if it has actually done that. WMT. A real-time quote, $57.07. So yeah, it's, let's see if we have a high, 52 range. And previous close, today's high, 18 cents. So still 6 cents short of testing its July 30th high. That is Walmart WMT. And it needs about 10 million shares. It has, I don't know, I've seen a couple things. About 5 million shares today. We had 6.5 million shares, awful close into that on the 6th. My charts always show the highest volume within 0.5%, but even then, being charitable, we'd be short here on Walmart. While I'm here, I want to take a look at TGT, see how it's doing. It was kind of familiar territory as Walmart, see how it's doing. Last major high on it was $64.99, 9 million shares on August 15th, and 99 million shares. And if that's right, we've had the best day we've had up here was 4.7 million shares with 0.5% of that high. Today, 1.5 million shares. So still seeing a lot of these stocks fairly weak. Last one we're going to look at here is XOM, ExxonMobil, and see how it's doing. Well, you've got to look at it as a possible breakout. Not enough volume yet today. Maybe we'll have some soon, 11 million shares. We are looking at wanting somewhere in the neighborhood of, even if you take the most charitable high volume high out here, would be about 18 million shares or 19 million shares. The primary one I'm looking at, which is always the highest volume to the left side of the chart that hasn't been breached already, is a February 23rd high that had 38 million shares. Even if you want to look at the lighter volume in the 18 and 19 million share highs previous, nowhere close on that right now. So maybe all my charts are broken, but boy, it looks like everything we're looking at has got light volume. We will be back in just a minute.
Are
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Time is the great equalizer of all mankind. Time doesn't care about winners or losers, who succeeds or fails. Time only cares that you played the game. Question: are you playing the money game? Is your money working as hard for you as you are for it? I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, a daily trading and investment newsletter service, and we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary. In year 1, we generated a 30% profit. Plus, I provided 26 hours of live coaching to my clients. My daily newsletter service is available by 8 a.m. each day and covers the stock, futures, currency, and commodity markets, along with all the current patterns that you can trade. Each newsletter is packed with education, and it's yours for as little as $3 per day. And for the next 30 days, you can try it risk-free. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage of TFNN.com and begin your journey to great wealth today. If you're waiting for a better tomorrow, remember this: today's tomorrow will soon be yesterday, and your clock is ticking. Mastering Probability. Now is your time.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
As we come back, we're going to look through some of the NASDAQ stocks that are moving the strongest today, but it is probably the weaker of the two indexes out here today when I'm looking through the big movers. But we've got a few. Baidu, looking at it, it's got a little bit of a retrace, but I can't see a big signal in it. Expedia, looks like this one's getting ready to take a move back up to its high again here today. It had a huge move up, which was a sign of strength, on the 27th of July. That came in with 17 million shares. Partially filled that gap, had some nice tests along the way, and now starting to move up. Not a whole lot of volume, but look for this thing. It had kind of a little gap down on lighter volume, but look for this thing to try to get back up to the $59.50 range here fairly soon. FFIV, F5 Networks, consolidation out sideways. Not a whole lot of volume in it either. Google was the one I wanted to really take a look at here. This one looks pretty much like the charts are starting to look today, i.e. that it was breaking out higher, wasn't having a lot of volume. This thing has continued to hang around and above that $680 level where basically resistance has been, but another day of volume that is fairly light. But looks like, I would imagine, this thing going into a Friday, probably some shorts out there. Looks like it wants to ring the bell, at least test at 612.81 from previous high from September 10th. Infosys, nice one that's trying to make it back up into its break, having a fairly nice move today. Huge volume down gap. This one's coming into some fairly strong resistance, INFY for the symbol. This had that huge volume day down that was on April the 12th, excuse me. And that volume was almost 10 million shares. We're coming back into that and trying to fill that gap with 2 million shares today. I'd put that on my list as one of the more weak stocks out there. Monster Beverage been blowing apart, having a little bit of a reversal, turning around on a previous gap that should be at least limited support level when it hit that gap this morning, around $50. Nice move up here today, $53.50, somewhere in that neighborhood. But again, fairly light volume. As we wanted to look at and see if Micron was doing anything. Of course, the maker of a lot of memory, consolidation range, again, not doing anything. Nuon, we talked about this yesterday. Nuon Communications is going to now be in all the laptops that have the Intel designation for their Ultra, what they call their Ultrabooks, or their competitor to Apple's super thin laptop. This one's coming up, not a lot of volume in it here today over the last couple of days as that news is rolled out, and the fact that they've got the new application and work from Siri. Yeah, decent volume up here. Looks like this one could be trying to make back up into the gap before, which would be about 28.75 into that range where it came down on huge volume. That volume down was on almost 30 million shares. Looks like it's going to try to come back and at least get back up to that gap fairly quickly. Qualcomm up, volume's not bad, but not great. Another one of these that came down on huge volume. That volume was down on 41.5 million shares on the 19th of April. We're getting back up to that 9 million shares now. So look at Qualcomm coming up against a fairly hard gap. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. A lot of action in this marketplace. Not a lot of volume in most of these stocks, though. We'll have to check it out at the end of the day. You have a great and safe day.